Yeah, because we can have a little. Yeah, go ahead.
Ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, and we're back with the Roto Hackers podcast. My name is Joda Boda, and I'm here with AJ Herschel, the kid, and it's Jared.
Nice.
That was all right, I guess.
You
Life
held
is
it for a
good.
while though, so bonus
Yeah.
points there.
So we are the unauthorized underground, interminable.
All right, you only got like 45
Crystal
seconds to
close.
explain before this
Okay.
thing starts. So.
Well, we're doing a mock draft today. Explained it.
There you go. There you go. You saved it at the end.
This will be fun.
yeah,
So how you guys feeling? You feeling the energy of drafting?
Oh, this is a step down for me because I already had free
that's right.
team.
Yeah.
I already drafted. I mean, it's a whole free team, so it didn't really make that big a difference. But yeah, but it'll be fun because you guys are in here too. So
Yeah.
and every pick I make, I'm gonna announce it like it's an NFL draft pick where I'm gonna be with
Oh,
the
yeah, let's go.
second overall pick of the 2020.
Let's do it.
It's not gonna take long for that to get annoying, I'm sure.
Oh no, trust me, I'll be completely
share-
happy with that
share-
the whole time.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're in. You got to share a different screen. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yep, it's loading.
Oh,
Here
I
it
forgot.
is.
Oh, we still have 2.5 minutes until it actually starts. So yeah, it
Ooh,
loads.
they added a dark theme. Okay.
Hasn't it always looked like this? Oh, what pick am I? What pick am
I
I?
don't know.
4.
Fourth. Yeah. So I've got
You
third.
chose your pick, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh. Usually it randomizes it. I didn't realize you could choose your pick.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
every time I ever go in, it just like you choose your pick. You just
Oh, what is
then
this?
you can move and
Oh, interesting.
oh, okay.
I mean, no, usually. Oh, for mock drafts, I guess it's like this. But I mean, in a real draft, you get in and it randomizes it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So in mock drafts, you can actually. I forgot that. Oh, okay. Well, fourth pick's good. I like it. Oh, I haven't thought about this in a while.
Yeah, you got to start making fourth pick. That's an interesting spot. You got to make some choices there.
Yeah.
I got I chose number 2. I was 3 in my draft that
Yeah.
we went over the other night. So I want a I know who's going to be the pick at number 2.
I chose number 3 because why the heck not? I know I'm definitely not getting pick 3 anyway, so it's fun to do in a mock draft.
Okay.
Oh, you don't normally get the third pick?
I think the highest I got last year was pick 3, and in every other league I got pick 5 or lower. So I am almost always second half of the draft for some reason.
Yeah, usually it's like that for me too. I'm rarely like a guy that gets the top pick or something, and so that's why I do auction drafts to kind of balance things out so that I can just pick whoever I want if you want to spend enough on them. So
Yeah. Okay, what's our thing here? So it's quarterback, 2 wide receivers, 2 running back, tight end, flex kicker, defense expand. Okay, it's normal.
yeah. It's standard as or same as last year. They didn't change it from last year, but last year was the first year. Last year, or was it 2 years ago that they added in the flex position? I can't remember.
It was. I think it was 2 years ago. 2 years ago.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
I remember because it threw you off, and it was that we weren't doing the show. You talked about it.
Oh, yeah.
Threw you off the year before.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
30
Here we
seconds.
go.
30 seconds.
Well,
Okay, what's going through your head right now? What are you thinking?
I'm just waiting. I'm just expecting, Christian McCaffrey to be the first one off the board. All right.
Yep.
With the second overall pick of the 2020 third and long mock draft, the JPs select Saquon Barkley, running back, New York Giants.
Okay.
Then with the third pick in this mock draft that we decided to join, AJ's nice team will select with the third pick.
Can I guess? Yeah.
Oh, going my
Derrick
route.
Henry.
Going my
Yeah,
route.
yeah,
There you
yeah.
go.
The absolute unit.
I completely understand, but I kind of wanted to see if Judah would get forced into that dilemma. Oh, but he took Kamara. He's going to be taking Kamara.
I'm
Good
all
choice.
in
Smart choice.
Kamara
Smart
this year.
choice. So pick 4, we got Chris coming up. Interesting enough.
Dalvin Cook. Dalvin
Injury
Cook's
risk.
on a lot of people's top 2 or 3, like Matthew Berry, Jake Seeley, guys like that. Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that Elliott went after Cook, but that's, I guess, like you're saying, that's kind of the way it's going.
Yeah.
It's really interesting seeing. It's really weird because mock drafts you only got 30 seconds when typically, you've got like a minute in draft, so it makes you have to think faster.
Well, I think that was something else that they changed 2 years ago where they cut it down to a minute. I think didn't you used to get like a minute and a half?
Yeah.
Like it was there goes Michael Thomas, first receivers off the board. That's 7.
Ryan
and
takes
Tyreek Hill.
Reek the Freak. Interesting.
Yeah, he's typically ranked around 10 or so.
Hopkins.
Hopkins over Devontae Adams. That's
I'm not
interesting.
surprised.
That's
I'm not
going to leave a
surprised.
lot of running backs.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I would not take
Lamar Jackson.
Hey, in my draft,
Pick 11.
in my draft, he went 11 or 12. I can't remember which one it was, but yeah,
I'm not surprised.
Gotta be kidding me.
I'm curious to see if
Julio.
Patrick Mahomes goes off soon too.
Oh my goodness, Devontae Adams just sitting there.
Yeah, that's a
man.
value.
I'm glad I get to pick before you, homies, because I know who I'm going to take.
Okay, this is interesting. I have a couple of routes.
There went Devontae.
There it is.
Oh, yeah, this is working out perfectly. Please.
What if Chris takes Chris?
I want Josh Jacobs.
I know you do.
I want
Oh
Josh
my
Jacobs
goodness.
so bad. Come on. Okay,
Chris.
it's gonna be auto
Wait,
draft.
it's gonna be Godwin. It's auto draft.
Yeah, it's auto draft. Okay, good.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, baby. This is working out nice.
Oh yes, come home. Yes, the Travis Kelce reign.
This is a more interesting pick, but like if they don't do anything in the draft, then I feel good about Eckler.
Yeah.
You
love you some Eckler. I know
Yeah.
that. All right. I think that I'm starting to warm towards Eckler. I have to go back and look at his tape, though. I really am curious to whether people just didn't adjust to having a scat back. Defending against a scat back, expecting a power back in what was his name?
Melvin
Jackson? No, Jackson. Melvin Gordon wasn't there.
It's a tougher one.
JP's got a tough pick here.
I'm gonna go with Kittle again. I went with Kittle in my last draft. He was there about that spot, so I'm gonna get him again there.
Okay.
Let's see. This is an interesting one. I think I'm gonna hang back. Where's my next pick? Okay, I've got a minute, but I feel good about some of those guys. So we're going to. I'm gonna take my rival. We'll go Kenny Galladay.
Galladay's a guy that I kind of consider for that spot. Like for me, it was between Kittle, Galladay, and Gurley. But
I'm thinking about Gurley or Moore. Or Odell.
Yeah, you like Odell. You like Odell more than the consensus opinion on him.
Yeah, I'm going Odell.
Wow. Okay, he's high on him this year.
Yeah, I told you I'm gonna have a lot of Odell. If I could get him in the 3rd round, are you kidding me? Yes. Give me all the Odell.
Well, auto drafting Chris is probably going to take Miles Sanders.
That's high for Miles Sanders, but watch him be a phenom this year.
He's talented, but it's just Thomas is auto drafting now too. He's talented, but the problem is Philadelphia likes to use committees so much.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's amazing how well especially pass catching. And I think he did a lot of pass catching last year, right?
Yeah, I think so.
How well they do in that system. Even in a committee.
Hey, we got our first viewer commenter, and once again, our resident Bucks fan Ryan N has joined the show.
Resident Bucks fan, huh?
Yeah. What's up, Ryan? How's it going? Hope you're staying safe. I know you're going absolutely ballistic over Tom Brady. Congrats again. Hope you're doing well, man.
Look at that. Mahomes is off the board.
Wow.
But he's ranked, like he's got a third round ranking. So
going in the fourth, is this the fourth round?
Well, it was right. He went right at the end of the third round. So
okay, so at the turn, as they say,
just about. Amari Cooper. I don't like Amari Cooper in the third round. Just too inconsistent for me.
That's
interesting. Oh, man. Unfortunately, I was looking at Todd Gurley, I think, like the rest of you guys, and he went late third round.
Yeah, to me, it was between. I probably would have, if I didn't take Odell, I would have taken. If I already had two running backs. If I hadn't had two running backs already, I would have taken Gurley.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Carson going in the fourth.
Oh, there's your guy.
Dang it, that was my next pick.
Yeah.
All the running backs are starting to fly off the board now. Huh.
Well, because nobody took a running back in the second half of the first round.
That's true.
Oh, there's AJ's guy.
There goes Cortland Sutton. Come on, man. All right.
I think I'm eyeing a little Cooper Kupp action. I'm hoping Cooper Kupp lasts till I get there.
Okay.
Oh, I guess it will. Oh, it's gonna be up to me.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Ryan. Sir Thomas Brady. My apologies. I got the name wrong. Yeah. It's on me.
I thought it was Tampa Brady.
Tampa Brady.
All right.
TB.
I'm thinking about Cooper Kupp. I'm thinking between Cooper Kupp and Juju.
Ooh.
I'm going with Kupp. Safer.
Okay. This puts me in a weird position because I don't feel great about any of these guys.
Yeah, it's kind of barren now at the bottom of the fourth round in terms of like the more elite guys.
Honestly, I like next round better than this round.
Same.
My goodness.
Same.
I'm not a huge fan, but I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to go Mark Ingram the second.
You are a huge fan.
Yeah, I like Ingram. Yeah.
I do too.
I feel like if the Ravens are just going to score a ton of points again this year, which it looks like they might, he's got to get a couple of them.
Well, you know what made me a little higher on him is seeing his relationship with going back, and I looked at his relationship with Jackson. Lamar Jackson. Like, they have a real buddy relationship that it's going to be hard to leave because Ingram is such a personality, you know?
Yeah. And Jared, you moved up and took my guy Marlon Mack a little bit early, but I know he's your guy too.
I did because there wasn't a receiver that I really liked that well there.
Now he's got the pick again.
And now it's a tougher part. Yeah, let's see. I'm inclined, since there's almost no other receiver option there, to take Adam Thielen.
Wow, you got a Thielen.
Whoa. Almost no other receiver option. Well, that's a delay.
Oh man, this is hard now.
I got a Thielen. Oh wow,
this is tough. You know what? I'm not gonna get him. So if I don't pick him now, I'm gonna go Tyler Lockett.
Lockett.
Yeah, Seattle's too good. Lockett's too good. And I didn't feel good about anyone else there.
Oh, I'm loving this. Man, I am loving my team.
Yeah.
Oh.
I debated Devontae Parker. But,
really?
I mean, he was a stud down the stretch last year, but he's always had so much trouble staying healthy, and we don't know what the Miami quarterback situation will be. And so I had to go Adam Thielen over him. I think Thielen will come back with a bigger year because Stephon Diggs is gone, and Thielen was hurt last year, and
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you guys think if it comes down to it? Terry McLaurin, or DK Metcalf?
Are you drafting for your team and asking us that, or are you just asking us that in general?
No, I saw that question because I follow some of these, Facebook groups, and that was one of the questions I had a hard time answering. And it looks like they're pretty close here too on this consensus
Interesting.
ADP.
Yeah, that's tough. That is a tough one.
And you said DK Metcalf and who again?
Terry McLaurin.
Scoring McLaurin.
So you've got, McLaurin's the uncontested number one receiver in Washington, assuming that they don't draft someone high. Metcalf has to share more. Is he really the 1A or the 1B with Lockett? They throw the tight end a lot. They mostly run the ball. That's a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, David Montgomery goes pick 52, and I'm still unsure how I feel about him. Now he took Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray is off the board, folks. Sorry.
You can only see round 1 through 4. All right, you got it. Let's see.
Yeah, show the whole board here. You know.
Oh, there we go. That's as far down as it goes.
No, but show the board. Don't show that part.
This part. Which part are you looking for? This part shows
board.
like each pick as it goes.
The countdown board.
All right, I'll switch.
James Conner.
Interesting.
James Conner.
Went from being a first round pick, mid to late first round, to a 6th round pick.
Now, see, this is where I didn't look ahead. I don't want to. I have too many wide receivers, and there's great wide receivers on there.
Yeah.
This is. I should have looked ahead.
See, that's why my first 4 picks were 3 running backs and a tight end.
Yeah, that was smart. I'm gonna go
Hunter Henry. Interesting.
Yeah. Tight end. It's a good time for a tight end.
Not your man, Calvin Ridley.
That's not my man. That's your man.
Ooh, this is tough here.
Calvin Ridley would have been if I didn't have so many wide receivers already, I would have gotten Calvin Ridley or
he's in a better position.
DK Metcalf or Scoring McLaurin.
Yeah.
I got to remember that. What round is this?
We're around
almost into the 7th.
So 6th round, I got to remember 6th round. There's going to be a lot of wide receivers available.
Mm-hmm. What you gonna do, Jared?
I am gonna go running back again. I'm gonna go running back heavy in this one.
Wow.
David Johnson once again. Interesting.
Yeah, that was a good pick. I was looking at him.
Yeah.
Because I still I won't have another pick until the bottom of the 8th, but I still feel pretty good about there being another couple of decent receivers on there.
Yeah, there are just a ton. You mentioned that in your draft. There's just a ton of receivers.
Oh wait, no, I do have a pick now. Never mind. Forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot about this one. So Robert Woods, they finally started to kind of figure out how to use Robert Woods. Yeah, there's some guys, Woods, Metcalf, McLaurin, that are all just kind of stacked up there. I'll go with Woods here.
Okay.
I don't know. Yes. I don't know if I'll really do that in real life because he's not a big red zone threat, and the Rams' offense was just so inconsistent last year. But down the stretch, they kind of figured out throwing the ball to Robert Woods again. So in the final 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games of the season, he had 9 targets or more, and in 5 of those 7, he had 95 yards or more.
Well, I get to choose again between Metcalf, but you know what? I think I like Gallup. I like Gallup over both of those guys. I really do. I'm a huge DK proponent, but I think Gallup's going to take another step. This is his 3rd year, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I think he's going to take that 3rd year step. He just has to learn to catch the ball. That's kind of important for a wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Allen by the auto-drafted Thomas over here.
I thought about taking Josh Allen.
He's like the 7th round guy this year. Like every year, there's like a guy that goes right at the 7th round, a quarterback, and Josh Allen seems to be like the consensus 7th round guy.
All right, now it's going to start getting interesting. I can't believe that McLaurin is still there. I hope he falls.
I can, because it's like, yes, he's got the talent, but he's still playing in Washington. That's just worrying.
People are scared about his quarterback situation.
I think talent trumps that.
Okay,
he did all right last year with terrible talent.
Yeah.
I think terrible talent transfers better, or terrible like quarterback play transfers better for running backs, because then you can just run the ball like Adrian Peterson did for years. And you can make it out. But I don't know. Wide receivers, you're like almost dependent on your quarterback for half of your stats.
Yeah, it is tougher for receivers because you can't get the ball to yourself, you know. So
just true.
Jarvis Landry goes off the board. And then Kareem Hunt. I think Kareem Hunt's going to be really interesting this year. I don't know if he's going to have the same dynamic or not.
First defense.
This is really where I think this is where the gold is to be mined.
Yeah,
right,
I agree.
This is where we really need to do our research, you know?
Yeah, it's really where, like, up to this point, you could have let it auto draft and you would have probably gotten about roughly the same team, you know? But there's so much more depth, you know, this year from like rounds 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 that I think you're right. I think that's where the better fantasy players will stand out.
Judah Buddha, what you gonna do?
I'm taking a risk on Henderson.
Interesting. And now I am honestly not a fan of any of these picks that are sitting before me. This is depressing.
I don't know how you guys feel, but I really regret not going more running backs. So you did go running back heavy, Jared. So you must feel good at this point. Like
I feel pretty good because Thielen and Woods, and you know, neither of them have the biggest ceilings, but
Debo.
Yeah, I thought about Debo.
San Francisco is enticing to me for some reason.
But you got two like real consistent guys with those guys.
Yeah, right. They're consistent, and I can get young upside guys here in the coming up rounds. So I'm kind of leery of this guy, but at this point of the draft, I'm going to take Deshaun.
Ooh, that's good.
Okay,
that's good.
Okay.
I mean, bottom of the 8th round, I can't pass him up there.
That's hard. Your team is solid.
Yeah.
It's I think it'll be very consistent, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Whereas mine, I'm going for upside. Like I'm going for the upside of Odell Beckham. The upside
Justin Tucker starts off round 9.
What?
This is probably
that's auto drafting Matt. Yep.
This is probably my toughest pick that I've had so far. I'm going to go ahead and take this guy because he was taken pretty early. He was taken around this spot in my real draft, even though it's way higher.
Hayden
Hurst.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, that's your guy.
I'm glad
Falcons.
You did that.
Matt Ryan loves to throw to his tight ends.
You went Matt Ryan.
I like Matt Ryan. He's consistent. I needed a quarterback. It's a little bit of a jump, but I'm happy with that. So I'm interested, Jared. Do you think Hayden Hurst is gonna go round 9?
He went. I can look in my other draft. He either went round 9 or round 10.
Interesting.
In my other one, which was a little higher than I was expecting him to go. Let's see. He went. Maybe it was 10. Yeah. He went with the 3rd pick of the 10th round in my other one. So that was higher than I was expecting based on where he was ranked. You know, you look at all the guys that are ranked ahead of him and at tight end, and you've got Ingram, Austin Hooper, Noah Fant, OJ Howard, Dallas Goedert. I mean, just a lot of guys. But man, Matt Ryan likes to throw to his tight ends. Hurst is in, what is this, his 3rd or 4th year now coming up. So it's kind of, yeah, it's his third year. So it's kind of like that third years where the tight ends tend to break out and Matt Ryan loves to throw to him. I feel better about him than I do Austin Hooper going to Cleveland, because Cleveland has so many, you've got OBJ, you've got Jarvis Landry, you've got Kareem Hunt to throw the ball to. So I don't know how many targets are going to be there for Austin Hooper. And so I wanted a backup tight end behind Kittle, and the options were Hooper, Evan Ingram, who just went, and we've talked about Evan Ingram's injuries. OJ Howard, we don't know what team he's going to be on. There's some other guys I like at tight end, like Gesicki, Goddard, Hawkinson, but Hurst, I just felt best about Hurst's path to getting a lot of targets there in Atlanta.
The picks are starting to fly off now. We had 5 kickers and 3 kickers and 5 picks, and Rodgers goes off the board.
That's
how the mighty have fallen.
Wow. Oof. I feel torn. I'm a huge fan, of course, of Rodgers, but for fantasy, he's just been so bad.
He's so inconsistent.
All right, here we go. This is a tough.
The 2 Patriots running backs go back to back, but James White goes first, even without Brady.
Man, it just feels like this is where the trash is, but there's always that gem,
Oh man,
yeah.
I am torn right now between a couple guys, but I really want to see what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know who I think is going to be a breakout that people are sleeping on? Naheem Hines.
Whoa!
See, I think it's total opposite. I think they're going to lean into Marlon Mack.
Oh, I've got a choice to
make. You forget how much Rivers loves his scat back.
He does, but he's not in LA anymore. So
he loves dumping off to his scat bag, man.
Out of necessity, I gotta draft Jordan Howard.
In every year he's had a scat back that was just as productive as his power back. He both of them, do well with Rivers, but you think back to my little woodchuck, who
I predicted every injury for, I'd like to say.
I'm going to go with Julian Edelman. I think he could still be a big he's never going to have a ton of touchdowns, but they may be more dependent on him than ever, just about.
Oh, yep, Ryan N is with us in dissing Rodgers for fantasy. He's with us in this one.
Oh, we should have gotten Ryan in on this.
Oh yeah,
man, yeah. Join our next one, man.
Yeah, we'll do another one later. All right, so I'm gonna take this guy because I think he's basically like discount brand Amari Cooper. He's gonna give you a lot of big games. He's gonna give you some zeros, but in the 11th round, Brandon Cooks.
Ooh, nice. Okay.
Yes.
All right, this is a little bit of a jump.
You wanted to go with him, but you forgot.
Yeah, right? I forgot about him. Or no, I put him in my queue, and then I guess I clicked off of him or something in the other one. But it's a free league, so no big deal. But it did remind me, like, oh yeah, don't forget about Brandon Cooks around like round 11 or so.
I'm gonna back up my main man, Kamara.
Your main man, okay. Lat Murray. All right, Ryan ends down. Let's go. All right, next one. Next mock draft. You're joining us, Ryan.
Yeah.
We are almost out of this one. We're in round 11, pick 106, and Austin Hooper goes off the board.
Yeah, I like him a lot. If he'd have stayed in Atlanta, in Atlanta, I would have drafted him probably 4th round.
Wow.
He's with the Browns now?
He's with the Browns, yeah.
I feel like there's so many good tight ends there.
Yeah. Yeah, I just worry about his target share there. So
yep. Different system too. It's not a tight end heavy system.
No.
Although they might. Well, it's a new coach, so I don't know actually. It might.
I always have trouble remembering who their coach is.
Yeah, who is it now?
Oh my goodness, I'm googling.
We got to talk about the Browns uniforms too.
Yeah. His favorite part.
His favorite subject. Yeah.
I don't know. Like they're like, here's the Browns. It's like retro. I'm looking. It looks like
it looks the same.
jerseys.
They took Cleveland off the front,
Oh.
and so I saw people joking like yeah, well, taking Cleveland off of anything makes it better. So.
Oh no! Oh no!
But I mean, they look almost like if they didn't have those stripes on the sleeve, they look like the generic jerseys that you see like when a player has a commercial that's not endorsed by the NFL
jerseys, yeah,
and they have to wear just some sort of like color scheme that's similar, but they can't show logos and it can't be they look kind of like that. They're just so simplistic and generic.
It looks generic.
Yeah, well that's what the classic Browns jerseys kind of looks like though.
Yeah.
I mean, look, they all look like jerseys to me. I don't
Yeah.
It's just a jersey.
Ryan in with a good eye saw Tom Brady go pick 107. I think I'm higher on him than most people.
I was thinking about him as a backup quarterback in this round if he had been there, but oh well.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, I'm going to be straight up honest. I like my two dark horse teams this year are Tampa and Denver. Like I'm really high on both of them.
Yeah, you're definitely higher than everybody else on Denver.
Yeah. I think it's going to be hard because they're in a division with the Raiders and the Chiefs and the Chargers. Who knows what they're going to do? But oh my goodness, there's just so much talent in Denver that I really, really like. LA Rams defense go off the logo. Oh no, I was not prepared to get hit with that.
Man, all right. So when you're looking at this list, the ADP here, all players, I'm gonna click on all players. Who stands out to you as like maybe a diamond in the rough?
Oh, for me, it's probably if I click on what ADP over here. Man, that's rough. Because if I click ADP, most of them are kickers and defense.
I'm looking at Darius Slayton or Jamal Williams.
Okay, interesting.
I'm going with Slayton. I think that's good value in Slayton.
Right.
That's I think tremendous value. I was going to take him if you guys didn't.
Yeah. Oh boy,
I mean,
it's starting to get rough.
I just got Slayton in the 12th round. He might be just as good as my main man Sterling Shepard.
He might be just as good as OBJ.
Let's not go crazy there, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Jamal Williams, and I know this is gonna lose me one of the guys that I really wanted to get because auto draft, but
who?
We'll see if he gets drafted. Ryan N says Bucks 10-6 or 11-5, losing the divisional round probably. All right, yeah, that's a good season. I think year 2 is going to be even better. It's like year 1 get started, going to be really good in fantasy, especially, and then year 2. That's when
I'm gonna take my guy Daniel Jones here.
Ooh, all right,
nice.
12th round, yeah, I'll take that. I mean, but the thing is too, I like Stafford. Tannehill's still on the board. You know, I mean,
Stafford's gone.
It's just a lot of value.
There is a lot of value. That's why I probably could have waited longer, but I felt like Breeze. I think I got Breeze in the 8th round.
Yeah. This was a tougher pick.
Yeah. Drum roll.
Gosh.
Uh-oh.
I was gonna take Alshon here.
That's sneaky good.
Interesting.
I mean, if they don't get another, if depending on what they do in the draft and how ready that receiver is, I mean,
and he's healthy. If he's healthy,
if it's the 1 year out of every 6 where he's healthy, I mean, 13th.
That's what I was gonna say.
13th round. You know, I like Anthony Miller, but you know, I just don't like if he was on another team, I would feel a lot better. But just with either Trubisky or Foles, If it's Foles, I would feel a little better about him.
Yeah.
But
see, this hurts because I really, really wanted to take Marvin Jones Jr. because he has saved me way too many times, but I already have Kenny Galladay, and I'm like, do I really want to go double Lions?
I think that would be smart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if one of them gets hurt, you have like a 300-yard dude.
Yeah. And there goes MJJ. I might have to take him in the actual draft when it actually comes. I don't know why. I have something with Marvin Jones Jr. He's done.
You do. You have.
Oh man, he is the perfect number 2 wide receiver.
I actually, since you've talked about that, I think I'm gonna try to go Galladay MJJ.
Really?
Yeah, that sounds like a really tricky little friendship. Have you heard of the friendship draft?
No.
Coined by Adam Azer from the Ion Fantasy. He does this friendship draft where he'll get 2 wide receivers off the same team, hoping that one of them gets hurt.
Okay, how does that work out?
Pretty good. Last year he had, I think he had. So you get like somebody in the first four, or maybe first 5 rounds, and then you get his teammate, his friend, way later in the draft. So it has to be somebody like that on the 1 and 2 where you can get them with such disparity between them.
Yeah.
And that would be like Galladay and MJJ.
Okay, all right.
I forget who he did last year, but it worked out pretty well.
I'm going to have some leagues where I don't draft a tight end high because there are just so many tight ends that, like, I mean, still looking at it now, like, you know,
Gesicki's still there.
Gesicki's still there. Jack Doyle, you know, I think he could, like, Phillip Rivers loves, he's had Antonio Gates, he's had Hunter Henry, he loves to throw to his tight end. Jack Doyle is a good tight end. I think Doyle could have a huge year. So
I agree.
So I'll take a Kittle or Kelsey in some leagues, but I think in a bunch I'm going to try to get like 2 to 3 young tight ends and see like, okay, one of these has got to outperform.
Yeah. And TJ Hawkinson's still there.
Yeah. Yeah. Just a lot of young.
Who'd I get?
New England.
Well, it is round 14.
I don't ever draft a defense. I was trying to click on. Who was I trying to click on? Justice Hill. I probably still can get him. Boston Scott. Ooh. Golden Tate. I might do the friendship strategy with Slayton and Tate.
I'm going to take like Kansas City's defense came on late last year. I'm going to try them out.
And we're after this auto draft pick, which will take a minute. Oh no, okay, 10 seconds. And then we're in the final round and Hawkinson's off the board.
I can't believe that Tannehill hasn't. I am not going to draft a quarterback. I wasted that pick. Wow, there he goes.
Dang it, JP, you took Matt Gay.
I'm just counting on Tom Brady to get him in field goal range a lot there.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Okay, I'll go Seattle then. I'll go Jason Myers. And Judah Buddha, you have a decision to make between a position player, and he goes a position player. No kicker for Judah Buddha.
I'd never.
Once again,
that's a waste of a pick.
It is not a waste of that can mean the difference between getting an extra 3 points or an extra 12 points. It can be a huge difference.
Not. I mean, how many times have I gone and not drafted him and then gotten, like, one year I got Vinatieri off the waiver wire and he was
the waiver wire for kickers is always pretty good too. I'll give you that.
Yeah, a couple others that I feel pretty good about this year. Colts kicker and defense both, because I think the Colts
Who is the Colts kicker
now? Chase McLaughlin. He was the guy that filled in San Francisco for Robbie Gould for a while, and then he did great down the stretch for the Colts. And their defense, they got DeForest Buckner, they got Xavier Rhodes. They're probably going to use one of those 2 second-round picks on a defender. So I feel good about the Colts defense.
Gus
Edwards. That's a good draft.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, whose team we looking at first?
I want to see Jared's because I think he
we'll start with
really
his.
well.
All right, Jared, quarterback, Deshaun Watson. He's got Thielen and Robert Woods, Saquon Barkley, Austin Eckler, George Kittle, his man Marlon Mack in his flex spot. On his bench, he's got David Johnson, Hayden Hurst, Julian Edelman, Brandon Cooks, Daniel Jones, and Alshon Jeffrey with Matt Gay in Kansas City to finish off.
That's a strong team.
Mm-hmm.
That is a strong team. I think the points I would worry about would be Thielen and your wide receivers are like you said, they're consistent, but
right, not a stud guy.
And really your Austin Eckler and Saquon Barkley. I mean, Saquon Barkley is a stud, unless he has the season like he did last season.
Right. But that's why having David Johnson too. There's four starter worthy running backs.
Yeah.
So, and you can and really, I do want to get. I've only been taking 4 usually. I may even want to get a fifth one somewhere because I would find a fifth one somewhere because, you're just guaranteed to have a guy hurt and miss some games. So if you've got 4, then you hope that one guy, but you think about all the guys that can get hurt, all the guys that can have a down year like Joe Mixon last year. But if you have 5 running backs that you feel pretty good about, you can survive an injury and a disappointing season still with 3 guys that can be RB1, RB2 flex for you. So, so you got to think though, after the draft, we're going to have a couple of rookie running backs that are going to be available. That's going to change the landscape of it. Like Dobbins, J.K. Dobbins, DeAndre Swift. What's the guy out of Wisconsin?
Like Jonathan something or other. I had him in my draft. I can't remember his name.
Yeah. So you've got 3 probably potential starters there that are gonna, but they'll go earlier. They're not going to be hanging around at this point in the draft. They'll probably go like who knows where. We'll see. It depends on their situation. But I learned my lesson a couple years ago after they switched to this format where you also have a flex that you just get as many running backs as you can,
Jonathan Taylor. That's right. Taylor Swift.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
All right. So let's see.
Do we want to look at your team?
What's that?
We want to look at your team? All right.
Oh, you don't want to see your team? Come on.
No, I do want to see. I was offering to you first.
I know.
Okay, let's see. What do we got here? So Yahoo sent me my email and says I'm a B. I got a B for my team.
Oh, I don't know if I got a let's see if I got an email.
Yeah.
Where do they send it?
They send it to your email like 5 minutes after the draft happens.
I'm trying to think where they would have sent it though.
Yeah, there's mine. I got an A.
Oh, of course he did. Of course he did. So I got a B.
I don't think. Oh yeah, I did. I got it from.
Oh,
I probably got a C. I don't know. Let's see.
What the teacher gave you?
C plus. That's a badge of honor, though. I've never gotten an A and done well.
Well, I will agree with you on that. Like normally I'm like in the real drafts, I'm constantly getting like C plus, B minus, stuff like that, and I'm like, shut up. Mine's going to be, your stupid rankings don't know anything. Like I've had leagues where I've been projected to be like 2 and 12.
Yeah.
And then I've gone 12 and 2. I mean, just I don't pay my. I give them a little bit of stock. I tell you, the one thing that they are pretty good about predicting is your strength of schedule. Now that, from what I've seen, tends to be pretty accurate. So somehow they're not really that accurate about your team necessarily how it'll do, but your strength of schedule usually is pretty accurate. And I've noticed in those leagues I have had a harder time where I barely made the playoffs or didn't make it or something. So
it's interesting. I have auto drafted and gotten a C+. I'm like, how is you guys chose for me?
Yeah, right.
That's
Right.
hilarious.
All right,
Yeah.
well, let's look at this team. I think it's interesting.
Yes, I've got Matt Ryan, Galladay, Lockett, Henry, Mark Ingram, Travis Kelsey, Calvin Ridley. Then on my bench, I had something of a running back problem and got Chark, Debo, Jordan Howard, Emmanuel Sanders, Jamal Williams, and Anthony Miller. And because I should have taken MJJ, and then Jason Myers in Minnesota.
Yeah, I like it pretty well. My only thing would be, I would be nervous with Ingram as my number 2. I would feel better about somebody else there, and then having him and Jordan Howard as like 3-4.
Yeah, that's my real worry point. I'm happy with the wide receivers I got. I'm very happy with that.
Yeah,
so I'm thinking I could either trade something away or play waiver wire.
Yeah,
if Henry is what everybody thinks he's going to be, if he's a super stud, then I think you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
But if he's not, then I think it's like if Henry ends up being a dud, or even just not as good as like this could be a rough running back core, but your wide receiver core, I don't know how to feel about Lockett. That's like Lockett with. See, I would actually play Calvin Ridley as your number 2 over Lockett.
Okay.
Just because I don't know. I'd want to see how he does first. What do you think? What do you think, AJ or Jared?
Yeah, I don't know on Lockett too. I think they're maybe going to be around the same level, but like I said, the only one I'm just not that. The one I'm more iffy on is Ingram. But I do like your receivers, Galladay, and then I think the thing with your receivers is, you've got guys that, you can wait and see how they start doing. Like if with Ridley and Chark and Samuel and Lockett, like maybe week 1 you're not entirely sure who to play over who, but a week or 2 in. I think, you're going to have at least two good players out of that. So, I feel really good about your wide receivers. And like you said, you could trade, 1 or 2 of them maybe for a running back. And then Kelsey, you've got, the best tight end. I like the value of Matt Ryan where you got him. I like your team.
Yeah, thanks. See, here's the funny thing. My mock draft report card not only gave me a B, they said my strength was tight end, and my weakness is quarterback, wide receiver, kicker, defense, and flex spot.
I think the Yahoo bot is sleeping on Matt Ryan. I mean, it's hard for me to see him not being top 10 this year.
I think it's mad because I didn't take a backup.
I just clicked on it. Yeah, I just clicked on it, and it gives you an overall grade, not just a letter grade. So it gave me a 96.
Oh my goodness,
that's high.
I got 83, so it's passing, and I think it'd be better. I think it's better than that.
They gave me an overall. There's like a number somewhere. Oh, you got to click on it.
Yeah.
How do you click on it?
In your email, it's got mock
yeah.
draft report card. You just click on the link where it says mock draft report card.
Yeah. Let's see what he get.
You are not logged into Yahoo. Error.
Oh, okay.
Well, let's look at your team really quick then, because this thing's going to close in 6 minutes.
Okay.
Drew Brees, Odell, Cooper Kupp, Kamara, Jacobs, Hunter Henry, Stephon Diggs, Michael Gallup, Darrell Henderson, Naeem Hines, Latavius Murray, Darius Slayton, Dallas Goedert, Golden Tate, no kicker, and New England's defense.
I wish I hadn't got New England, but okay. So let me talk you through this here. Like I think that Drew Brees, this may be his last year, maybe last year of good production, and I think it's a revenge year for Drew Brees, where he's just going to be. Yeah, this is a high upside team for me. Because Drew Brees is either going to be just on fire this year, or he's going to be a dud. Same with Odell Beckham. I feel like he's going to be healthy, and he is going to be. This is the second year with the Browns. I know it's a new coach, but A lot of the same coaches will run in a similar system. I think if he lives up to his talent, he could be easily top 10 wide receiver. Cooper Kupp, talent wise, amazing. Last year he had a big dip, but I think the Rams are trying to figure out what kind of team to be without relying on their running back. Even though they still kind of did for touchdowns, they didn't run everything through their running back like they did the year before. They had to switch around a little bit. I don't know. You're about to say something, Jared?
I was just going to say, what's interesting is I know I've noticed this with my draft and this one too is, we're drafting Henderson. Nobody's paying any attention to Brown. Brown's going undrafted. Like, what if he ended up being the starter? Because he really got more work than Gurley last year, but people are assuming that year 2 Henderson will get more work. So if these were real drafts, I would probably be inclined to give Brown a roster spot.
Yeah, I like that idea. Maybe going Henderson Brown, you could easily get them with probably like your last 2 picks.
Well, and again, going back to the draft, we got to wait to see. They could draft another running back.
That's true. So, if they draft another running back, I might be inclined just to not touch anything.
Depending on how high it is. Yeah.
But here's the thing about Alvin Kamara. So AK-47, I watched him closely last year, and he got open so much for the easy dump off. I think it goes against game theory to get Drew Brees and Alvin Kamara, but for my theory that I think he's going to dump off a lot more to a healthy Alvin Kamara this year. Now, again, it's high upside, very low downside. If we get another Alvin Kamara from last year, if there's no positive regression for his touchdowns, then I'm up Poop Creek. But luckily, I have Josh Jacobs, who I think is going to be a top 5 running back this year to back me up. Now, Hunter Henry, that was kind of a panic pick. I forgot he's not going to have. I don't know who's throwing to him, but I think he's one of the better talents on the team left there. So they could run the whole offense through Hunter Henry.
Yeah.
Stephon Diggs, I think he's going to be dynamite. This could be the year that, the Bills could just dominate the NFL if there is an NFL this year.
Yeah.
And Stephon Diggs, no diggity, no doubt, will be the primary receiver in that offense. And then Michael Gallup in his 3rd year, I think he could take that big 3rd year leap and be just a dynamic wide receiver this year for Dak Prescott. And everybody's predicting Dak to be so good, he's got to throw to somebody. And I hate that line, he's got to throw to somebody, because it could also be Cooper, of course. But and then the rest are just kind of dart throws. Darius Slayton, I got really good value on. Latavius Murray is backing up my main, it's a handcuff. Dallas Goedert, I was surprised to get him so low. I got him with like the 13th pick. Yes, please.
Yeah, no, I did the same in my draft. He fell to like 13th round. So I don't know if that's going to happen in real drafts, but a couple of guys, if we only got a minute left or so, but look at Ryan's team. Ryan's team is pretty good, I think.
Oh boy!
So Kyler, Tyreek, and Keenan Allen, Chubb, Gurley, Singletary, and Kerryon Johnson.
Yes.
Got a value at tight end, but there's 2 or 3 good tight ends he could pick up off the waiver wire.
Yep.
Brown, Marquise Brown going into year 2. Who knows what Tampa's running back situation is going to be? Maybe Ronald Jones ends up being the guy. I think he got a really good team.
He did. And what he did is he started with wide receiver.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's interesting.
But then he went, I think he probably went 3 straight running back picks. Yeah. And I think you can do that. Like if I had a later first round pick, I would probably take Devontae Adams, or if he wasn't there, then Tyreek Hill, or of course Michael Thomas if he was there. He's slipping to mid to at least mid first round. So I would My thing isn't to definitely take a running back in round 1, but it's just to get like 3 in the first 5 rounds or something like that, you know. So
yeah, this is a really good team.
Yeah.
I would love to have it. Kerryon Johnson's a little Ronald Jones. His backup running backs are a little rough, but
yeah, but he's got 3. You know, his flex is Singletary. You know, so no, I like that team. I think I like that team probably, maybe best of all, maybe better than mine. And I think he picked. Let's see. I'll have to. Can't remember. I think he was the 4th pick. Maybe. Let's see. Who was it?
no, I was the 4th pick. I think he was after me, so maybe the 5th or 6th.
Yeah, maybe so. And sometimes, you know, you never know from year to year, like what's going to be the ideal spot. I mean, if you're number 1, it never hurts. Like number 1, you always end up getting, you know, because you get 2 good players at the turn of rounds 2, 3. You get 2 good players at the turn of rounds 4, 5.
Yeah.
But you know, the only downside to being picked number 1 is that you're prone to position runs. You know.
Yeah.
But sometimes you can get like a mid-round pick. There's years where like having like the 5th pick is really good. You know, you can end up with a really good team. But I think he was okay. No. I remember now. He was 8th. He was 8th because he took Tyreek 8th.
You're right. Yep.
Oh, I think AJ, you're muted.
Can't hear you, AJ.
Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, he was 8th. So I mean, he got a great team for any pick, but especially the 8th pick. You know,
Ryan N says Gurley overrated right now.
Interesting.
He's going to be a guy that is going to be very polarizing. You know, and there's a lot of risk with his knee, but that Falcons offense, you know, I don't know.
I'm
it's
chomping
hard.
at the bit to get. If anybody's overrating him, it's me because I'm ready to take him in the first round.
Yeah, I think. Whoa. Okay. I think Gurley could go one of 2 ways. It either goes, or 3 ways. It either goes really, really, really well, and he becomes like that 5th round pick who just does exceedingly well the entire year.
5th round.
It could go 4th round, 5th round. You know what I mean?
I mean,
he can go as high as the 3rd round. Yeah, but I think his ADP is 4th round. Or it could drop down, and he could not do well at all. Or he could just be perfectly fine, and there are people on the waiver wire who you could get better. So I don't think it's that much of a risk, and I think that the potential upside with Todd Gurley is also really, really good. Like Jared, you were talking about. I mean, he's in Atlanta. So it does get the worry of, okay, who's going to be scoring the touchdowns, but still.
They like to, but in close, they like to run the ball. Like Matt Ryan's not a guy. The reason that Julio never has a ton of touchdowns is because when they're at the goal line, like inside the 5, he does not trust himself, or they don't trust him throwing to those outside receivers. They love to throw to the tight end. They love to run the ball. They love to do like little, you know, trickery pitch forward stuff and things like that. I think Todd Gurley will have, you know, if he stays healthy, he's going to have a lot of touchdowns. And the thing, you know, I keep thinking back to was that stat we came across where like 10 of their 11 starters are 1st round picks, you know? I mean, which, you know, of course that doesn't always mean something. It's just on paper, but like, man, that's pretty good. So if it weren't for Gurley's knee, if you took the knee out of the equation, like where would I draft him? I would draft him probably 3rd overall pick.
3rd.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If not for his knee, because the situation and the talent are there. It's just, you know, it's just the knee, not knowing like, is he going to get hurt? What's his carry load going to be? But
I'm ready to pick it. Definitely 2nd round. 2nd.
Yeah. I'll have to see. Like,
I
don't know if I could
3rd overall.
3rd overall. Yeah. If not for his knee, because think about the talent that he had. I mean, a couple of years ago, he was the number 1 overall pick, you know, and then the knee is what knocked him down because he's in a great situation. And, you know, he's very talented. So it's just the health issue. I mean,
Yeah.
I say just the health issue. That's a big issue. But I'm saying if you just surgically remove that from the situation, I would take him third overall. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Also, if we want to do one more mock draft with Ryan N, if he's still hanging out with us, there's a couple coming out soon. We'd probably have to get in one of the 6-minute ones, maybe, because the 1-minute ones are about to go.
Are you talking about right now?
I mean, there's ones in 6 minutes, yeah. If Ryan N wants to hop in one last one with us.
Yeah, I don't know if I have time because we're
I
nearly.
gotta go at 12.
Yeah,
All right.
we can do one. We'll have plenty of time.
Yeah.
We can do one. We can figure out
After
a time.
the draft? After the draft?
Yeah, let's do another one after the draft because
All
then we'll have those rookies. in
Yeah,
there.
the rookies in
So
there.
yeah. So we'll have CeeDee Lamb, Jerry Jeudy, Swift. Probably Jonathan Taylor. I mean, we're gonna have probably 4 or 5 guys that are gonna make at least, I mean, minimum immediate impacts for their teams because you think about all those guys that are going to go in the first round or a running back that might go early second round, but may start, So.
That's true. Like where we get to those trash rounds where you look at everybody and you're like, I don't want anybody. That's where you're going to be able to pick up some of those Judy's or Lamb.
Yeah, I don't know. I bet will go high. Like I bet they start slotting in around.
Really?
Like, I don't know. I'd have to go back and look and see. I would say, let me just look and see who was taken. I bet they start going in like around 7th round, like somebody, because people are going to overvalue them too.
That's true.
And depending on the situation they go to, like if somebody goes to the Jets or the Raiders, they're immediately the number 1 receiver,
Mm-hmm.
So I can see people taking them. I think people will overvalue. I bet they'll go. Some of them will go like 5th round in some drafts. Maybe not consistently, but they'll start going like 5th, 6th, 7th round because they can be like the immediate number 1 receiver on teams like the Jets or the Raiders or the Eagles.
Well, that was fun, guys.
Yeah,
that was
cool.
fun.
Yeah, and Ryan N says, message me on here when you do one. Dude, we absolutely will.
Yeah,
Really
absolutely.
message him?
We can probably like message one of his comments or something like that. Probably that made. Oh, also Ryan N, by the way, I know this has been a while, but email us at rotohackers@gmail.com because you won a free t-shirt.
That's right.
So let us know what one you want because you still have that voucher, man. rotohackers@gmail.com. Email us.
What is the? Do you remember what episode that was? He needs to go back to that episode.
I actually just pulled it up. Give me 1 second. It was Roto Hackers. The playoffs continue. I think we put it right at the beginning of that. Yeah, our division playoff.
Give me your address and I will send it. Give me your address and which one you want. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Email.
Yeah, email us at rotohackers@gmail.com. We'll send you the link to Teespring if you can't find it, and pick a t-shirt. Congrats, man. Yeah.
Okay, guys. I gotta hit the road. I guess it's a little early, but do we have anything else to talk about?
No, we kind of touched on the Browns uniforms. There's not much to them. I think that's all I got for today. I'm looking forward to Tuesday night. We can talk about the draft. We'll be 2 days away from the draft. I think at that point, if there's going to be any, real solid information predictions out there,
leaks,
it's probably going to be out around that time. So, and then we're going to live stream the draft. We're going to live stream the draft Thursday night, and I'll give our commentary on it.
Tuesday night, we have to really refine our predictions.
Yeah.
Solidify them, right?
Yep. Apparently, also I've heard. I know this should probably be saved for Tuesday, but apparently a couple coaches have 5 coaches have completely scratched Tua off their list.
Really?
In terms of that bad. Yeah. They didn't say. Just 5 coaches.
He's going to fall in my rankings.
I wonder, but I wonder though, is it guys that wouldn't really be there to, is it teams that would have been seriously, like if you found out that it was like Miami, the Chargers, the Panthers, the Raiders, then all of a sudden, like this could get bad for Tua. But if you just found out that, like, oh, it's like the Packers and the, they're like, who cares? They're at the bottom of the first round anyway. So I would really love to know who those teams are, because that could be a huge impact on whether or not he's like the 5th overall pick or the 25th overall pick.
Yeah. Also, I think apparently a bunch of coaches have been really, really happy when they did like their video interviews. A bunch of them have been really happy with Jake Fromm.
I saw that. Yeah. I would be fine with Fromm as like a 3rd round pick for the Colts. I don't know if I'd love him as a 2nd round, not with maybe if they traded back into the bottom of the 2nd round or something. Right. I probably think more of him. He ended up with the 2nd highest Wonderlic score for whatever that means. But I mean, he's been like, we saw throughout the season that he was like the best pre-snap read guy.
Oh yeah.
And Kirby Smart talked about that, about him being like best at pre-snap reads that he had ever seen. And so the knock with Jake Fromm is that his arm isn't strong enough. Like, well, I wonder though, like if Drew Brees came out today, like would people say the same thing? Because Drew Brees, I mean, Jake Fromm is, like an inch and a half taller than Drew Brees. Yeah. Neither one of them are that. Too. What's that?
Big hands too. That's what the draft is. They were talking all about the draft. He's got big hands.
And so, like I wonder. Like I think at that position, like I think Fromm can be like a Kirk Cousins type, and people like to throw off on Kirk Cousins, but Kirk Cousins has been a starter, in the league for a lot of years, and
he was
if
like 3rd round, or what was
I think Cousins was 4th, maybe he was 3rd or 4th. Behind
Dak. Same thing with Dak.
Yeah. And so, people throw off on Fromm because his stats weren't that good and because he doesn't have the strongest arm. But, the NFL GMs are going to evaluate things differently. And so I would be fine, because I don't think after you get past Burrow, like everybody's got these big question marks. Tua, it's his health. Justin Herbert, tremendous athlete, but he's got flaws in terms of, sometimes just wildly missing receivers and being inaccurate. Then you've got Love, who's this huge wild card that people want him to be the next Patrick Mahomes, but are you seeing something that's not really there? All these different guys, and like Eason's got a cannon arm, but I don't know if Eason's the brightest quarterback out there. So, I mean, Fromm as a late 2nd or early 3rd round pick, I'd be fine with that. And the other thing too is it doesn't lock you in. Like if you use a 1st round pick, then you feel like, oh man, I just used a 1st round pick last year. I don't want to, but next year, if the Colts came along and found a 1st round guy that they're like, oh, we really like this guy, then you just take him then. So I would be okay with the Colts not taking a guy until like, late 2nd, 3rd, something like that. So.
Yeah. Ryan N really fast wants us to dig a little deeper into our Jacob Eason thoughts.
Well, we've talked a lot about him, right? Because
a little bit before.
You both think he'd be a great pick for Colts.
Yeah, I think he would be. I think he would be worth it for the Colts, especially with them having Rivers there. A big guy, not that mobile. Cannon arm. It's really hard to tell with Eason. I mean, Eason's got the talent. I mean, he was, I think, the number 1 quarterback coming out of high school. And then he got hurt at Georgia, and. Yeah, Jake Fromm beat him out, but at the same time, like you have players who can be better pros than they were college players. Yeah. I think some of the concern with Eason is more like, I've just read different things about, being in Washington, like he had that whole year off. And then even with that, it didn't seem like he had just a tremendous command of that offense. I have a lot of mixed feelings on Eason. It's really tough to say, but I think the talent is worth it, that he could be like a Big Ben. He could be a Matt Stafford or something like that, I would have no problem with the Colts taking him, around top of the second round if they like him enough, if they want to trade into the bottom of the first round or something. But, nobody seems to really know where he's going to go. People have him going anywhere from like to the Packers around 27 to being like a mid to late second round pick. So there's like a whole round in there that people are not sure where he's going to go. But I mean, to me, if a guy has the potential to be a franchise quarterback, like once you get into the 20s in the first round, like it's probably worth it at that point. If you think he's the guy to take him, because you look at what happened with Arizona a couple years ago with taking Josh Rosen at 10. Can't remember if it was 10 or 12.
Really? I thought he was
10.
10. Yeah. So they took Rosen at 10, and then they came back the next year and took Kyler Murray. I think franchise quarterbacks are so important that if a guy has a pretty solid chance to be that one, you don't want to keep wasting like top 5, top 10 picks on him. But I would be fine with them taking Eason in the 20s. And if they get him for a year and think, I don't know, and they have another opportunity next year, take another guy, just keep taking shots at it.
It's really weird because I like Eason a lot. He didn't have a bad year at Washington.
No.
Like 3,100 yards,
right,
23 touchdowns, only 8 picks too, which I mean, since he's known more as a gunslinger, is a pretty good ratio to touchdowns to interceptions. I think the harder thing with him is that, yes, he played Power 5 and he played the Pac-12, but I mean, the Pac-12 wasn't great last year.
Yeah, you really need to put up almost like video game numbers in the Pac-12. Otherwise, people get nervous about you. And I've seen film breakdown on him where they talked about him checking down too quick. If he had just let the play develop for another 2 seconds, like you've got a home run ball there for a touchdown. That's really difficult to evaluate. And the people breaking down the film, acknowledge this too. It's really difficult to evaluate whether or not that's him getting skittish and missing that, or if the system that he's in and the coaching he's being given is, hey, don't take the risk here. If it's not there, just go ahead and check it down. And so those are things that we can't really know. The teams really can only kind of know, and even then not all the way, but they can know by talking to the guy and saying, okay, well, what happened on this specific play? So that's part of what makes Eason harder to evaluate. But with the arm talent there, I think the arm talent and the lack of amount of experience that he had, because all we saw was him as a true freshman, and then like a game of him as a true sophomore, and then nothing until his, junior year at Washington. So there's just not a ton of college experience there. You've got the potential to get a really raw player that you could develop into a great quarterback. So I'd be excited if the Colts took him in the second round.
Yeah. And my bad, I actually completely messed up on a fact earlier. Jake Fromm actually had the smallest hands in the entire draft.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna contradict you. Yeah,
No. Yeah, I was like thinking about it, and I looked back up, and I was like, nope, it's not right.
Yeah, but they're like right at. Okay, so I think the minimum that GMs want is 9-inch hands or something like that, and I think his are 8 and 7/8, and so it's like 1/8. Does it really, does it really matter?
Well, you know what they say about a guy who has big hands. He has a good grasp on reality.
That is what they say. Well, close out with a dad joke here.
We've got some bots in the I don't know, Luca 21, are you real? He said there's only one football. He's talking about the soccer. And
maybe he's
there's only one Gordon Ramsay.
That's interesting.
Well, sometimes you'll get some bots like prove you're not a bot, Luca, and I see he's probably gone. But sometimes you'll get bots and they'll like talk to each other, and we were kind of getting that in the I don't
know. When he was saying there's only one football, I thought maybe he was talking about like, yeah, it wouldn't really make sense for the conversation because we're talking about quarterbacks. Like if we'd been talking about wide receivers and a team having 3 good wide receivers, it makes sense in the context of that to say like there's only one football, you can't spread it around to everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm skeptical of that.
Well, see, what happened is he came on and said there's only one football, and then another guy immediately came on and said, F football, soccer's the only sport or something like that. And so
okay.
I was like, oh, I see what's going on here. And then he said there's only one Gordon Ramsay.
Which
Only one Gordon Ramsay.
There's a meme that goes around the internet of Gordon Ramsay's baby. And it's funny because it looks like just like him. The kid's like between 1 to 2 years old, and it just looks judgmental, and so I can't remember exactly what the meme is, but it's something about like, criticizing baby formula or something like that, like the taste of the baby formula, and he's ready to call somebody an idiot sandwich or something. So yeah, it's kind of cute. So that's what I think of when I think of Gordon Ramsay.
That's funny.
Well, I think that's a fine place to take a breather and move on to.
We should always try to end on Gordon Ramsay. Find some way to get the conversation there as a signal that it's time to leave. Yeah.
That's a good idea. I like that. Okay. Any final thoughts on anything before we go, guys? Guess we're gonna end on Gordon Ramsay, right?
I've got the schedule real quick.
Okay.
If we want to pull that up for the future, even though I've clicked save 4 times StreamYard and it still hasn't worked. So
the schedule for our schedule here
for draft week, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh,
so April 21st, we've got the draft preview and we've got my special segment, and also if we have time, we've got Jared's jerseys up there. His top 5 jerseys. So.
Yeah, we can always kick those to like post draft or something. Yeah. Oh, the Chargers. Oh, that reminds me. The Chargers, I think, are going to get unveiled Tuesday or Wednesday, and people are freaking out about the Chargers. That the Chargers have just the most awesome jerseys ever. So,
man, I'm excited.
Now I'm like hyped to see what the Chargers deliver.
wait, so they're freaking out about the leaked, or they don't want them to change it?
No, they're freaking out about how good they look. Like some players and stuff like that have seen them and like just being like, oh my gosh, those are so hot.
Really?
So now I'm hyped to see what the Chargers jerseys look like.
I hope they release it on
They
Tuesday.
were already good. I'm so
it's
excited.
Tuesday or Wednesday. I can't remember, but one of the two, I think. So
All right.
Interesting.
So yeah, so we need to wait for those anyway, and then once they're out, then can have sometime after the draft a full like analysis of all this.
Yeah, that's exciting because I liked the Chargers jerseys before, but that's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
So and then April 23rd we have the NFL draft live stream, which is gonna be really, really fun. And then April 25th we have post draft reactions, and I'm thinking, Ryan, if you're still here, we could just do our mock draft then. I'm thinking.
The post draft reactions.
We could do it. Yeah, maybe do the mock draft.
Oh, it depends. If it's a crazy draft, we might have a lot to talk about.
Well, and I'm not sure if they'll have, because the draft will still be going on April 25th. So they probably won't put the rookies all in until it's all over with. So so maybe wait a week or so until they're all in, so we can
I think that'll be May 3rd. Will be the next.
Okay. Gotcha. All right.
Okay.
Cool. And Ryan, email us. I just put the link in the comment section. That is our Teespring store. Choose a jersey, choose a color, or a t-shirt, not jersey. Choose a t-shirt. Email us on which one you want. Congrats, man.
Who are the other guys? I can't remember.
710 and Luke Ojeda.
Where's Luke?
Don't know.
They're probably not tuning into. They're not the fantasy football hardcores that we are, where they're tuning into fantasy football podcasts in April.
Shirt retracted.
Yeah.
You don't care enough. No. All right. Well, guys, I gotta go.
Yep. Same.
Judah Buddha, do the outro. You started us off. You finished us off.
When it comes to, I got nothing. Bye.